Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my transformation of restoring this rusty old John boat and turning it into a pretty nice bass boat. So as you can see in the before photos and the after photos, this is a huge jump in the difference of a boat we started with to what we finished with. So basically for the first step, I just kind of put the old John boat on some buckets, and then I took a leaf blower and blew all like the crumbs and all the leaves and all the pollen out. And then I took some Meguiar soap, like the same soap you use for a car, and then just scrubbed the interior and the exterior and all the little crevices that I could find. And I got a ton of pollen and dirt and a bunch of other debris out. And I just hit this thing with a regular like car sponge and then a scrub daddy. And then I flipped it over and started scrubbing the bottom and got all the dirt off of it. And I went to Walmart and picked up a couple things I needed for the interior just to get started. I got some light switches, a fishing rod holder, some wiring, some hinges, and then I got some spray paint to start the first coat of paint on the boat. And then got home, dropped that off, and then put the boat under the deck because it started to sprinkle a little. It was off and on, and I wanted to hit the boat with the first coat of paint. I knew it was going to need a couple coats, so I didn't worry too much about taping it all off, because I figured on the next couple coats I could tape off the edges and then make it look pretty good. Day two, the first coat of paint had dried. I put some tape around it, but yeah, you can kind of see the color I was going for. It's like it's called nutmeg. It's like a brown on the walls, and then I was going with a white for like the trim and the seats. And this thing started to look pretty good. I really liked how it was turning out with the second coat of paint especially. On to day three, this thing had 2 coats of paint on it. Started taking some of the tape off, and as you can see the color I was going for, it was looking pretty good, but in some spots I didn't put enough tape on, and the color started to seep through. Like the white started to get onto the brown, and some of the brown started to get onto the white. On day 4, I just cut out the door for the casting deck, and this wasn't too hard. It was just 4 straight cuts, and then me and my buddy Jared put this thing on, and we made sure it was in the right position, and then we screwed it in place just to see what it looked like. And we took the 2 door hinges I bought earlier from Walmart and mounted those on, screwed it on, and made sure it could open and close. And then we went to Home Depot and got some brown carpet to match the same brown as the boat, and laid that thing down, and then traced it out onto the carpet, and then cut it out. And then I took some of this Gorilla spray adhesive heavy duty spray, and then sprayed this all along on the wood for the casting deck and the carpet. And this thing held pretty good, but it might just be better to use some kind of like flex paste or just staples, because in some spots it did come up. but then I added a little handle on it, and this thing was opening and closing very nicely. And then we started adding on the third coat of paint, and for this one we really wanted to make sure we got all the tape taped off in all the right areas and making this thing look pretty crisp. This thing took a while to do, but we knew it would all be worth it. Yeah, by this point in editing the video, I had realized this was a lot of spray paint. I think we went through like 9 or 10 cans, and we weren't even done. We still had another layer of spray paint to do after this. After a lot of careful taping, we got the trim fully taped off and the seats taped off, and we hit this thing with another couple coats of paint, and this thing was starting to look really, really good, just like how we had wanted it. But this thing took, I think, 4 rolls of tape, around maybe 13 cans of spray paint, I want to say, including like the white, the brown, and the clear coats. And then we put I had some extra green turf. We put that on the inside of the casting deck, and I thought that looked pretty good. Now on to day 5. It was pretty much done. We just had to take off all the tape we had put on. And after a couple rounds of clear coat, this thing was pretty much done. While we were waiting for it to dry, I made a little mount for 3 light switches, and one of them is for the inside LED lights, one of them is for the small bar on the LED bar, and the last one is for like the main bar, which gives out the brightest light. And now we finished the last little bit and let that thing dry, and then it got really dark, and we decided to put on one last coat so that way it would have all night to dry. We hit this thing with a bunch of clear coat so that way it would have a nice coating all around and be nice and protected. And then we took it inside, took off all the tape, and now the lines were looking really good. And then we went to Walmart because I needed a trolling motor, and that is when we got the light bar as well. And then I mounted on the switches and the battery and made sure all of those worked for underneath the casting deck. And then we didn't have any cleats, like the thing that you tie off the boat to the dock or any of that. So instead, we used 2 of the extra hooks from the casting deck and mounted those on the back. So that way if we ever do need to tie off, we can have a spot to tie off to a dock. And then as you can see here, we mounted a 4.5 inch piece of 4x4 that we painted brown onto the front of the casting deck. Because the view of the light bar was being blocked by the front of the boat, so we had to lift it up a little bit so that way the front of the John boat wasn't blocking the light bar. And then once we mounted it just how we liked, we put a couple screws in, mounted the trolling motor, screwed on the light bar, and that was pretty much it for the casting deck. And in the back I got this Hagdad 3.6 horsepower outboard motor. I think it was like 180 bucks on Amazon. And this thing felt like a lot better quality than what I thought I was gonna buy. But yeah, it's all done. Here's the results.
Monkey.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment if you want some more John Boat videos. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.